Hello everybody. So you can tell by the title, today in this video we are going to be assembling a Cuddle baby. This is Realborn Dominic asleep. Of course he's just a head, but I was going to keep him as a Cuddle baby for myself. However, I decided I'd rather not, and he will be available for sale. I'm taking his official photos right after I assemble him today. Well, actually, I'll have to wait a little bit later on because I have to put his magnet in. I totally forgot about that. So we won't be probably putting his head on. Well, actually, yeah, I'll pause and then I'll put his head on after I put his magnet in. So yeah, this is Realborn Dominic. Anyway, it's been a weird day. But the main part I wanted to show you is how I personally weight the bodies. I finally got his body, which is right here. And I finally got my glass beads. I needed more glass beads. I ran out with the last few dolls that I finished. So this is his body, of course. So this body is interesting. I don't like this body in particular as much as the other ones because I do have to sew the openings closed after I finish filling it. Other Cuddle bodies I've seen, or the other ones I've used, have like Velcro closures, so that you don't have to do a lot of extra work. Or I've seen them where they're like tie finishes. But yeah, this one was pretty much the only one I could find in his particular size. I think Bountiful Baby restocked after I had already bought from them, so I wasn't going to go purchase again and have to pay that ridiculous shipping fee again. So yeah, that being said, I'm just going to get everything ready. I used like a very flexible cup when I'm pouring beads, and I have a funnel that helps also. But first things first, what I do is I actually fill directly into the cloth body up to about here on the legs. Hope you're seeing this. On the legs, I fill up to like about the ankle-ish. And then same thing kind of for the wrist area with just loose glass beads. And then I stuff the rest with the polyfill. However, you know, some people don't like doing that. I don't mind because it's not going to really get loose, because if you can see inside of the body, there's a cap on there, so the beads aren't going to spill out as long as I do the seam correctly to make sure it's sewed up nice and tight. So that's how I do it. And then the body, I do like I normally weight cloth bodies. I'll put a bag of glass beads in the bottom and a little smaller one at the top and fill the polyfill around that. So that being said, I'm going to pause so I can get things set up and we can get to start it. Okay, so I've actually went ahead and put the magnet into his head. So that will be drying as I fix up his body. I don't use E6000 anymore really. I use a quicker drying super glue. Haven't had any issues with it so far, so that'll be dry in about 30 minutes. So shortly after I finish filming this and filling his body and sewing up his body, his head should be ready. And the way I weigh the heads, I've actually made video about that already, but it's just basically the same idea that you're going to put a stocking inside the head. You're going to fill it with some glass beads till it feels right. That's all up to you. And then you're gonna tie that closed, cut the ends of the stocking that you use. For me, I double up the stockings just so the glass beads don't come through, because these are relatively thin stockings. Otherwise, these are just the toddler stockings that you get from like Walmart. That's where I get mine from. Usually mine are actually on clearance. So yeah, so I've already set aside the ones for his body. This is the heavier one. This will be on in his bottom, and this will be like on top in the chest area. So without further ado, let's start filling up these limbs. It's going to be a little bit hard because, like I said, I can't like Velcro them close. So it's going to be weird, and I'm going to have to be careful not to like spill out the beads because these beads get everywhere, especially on my wood floor in here. And they are a nightmare to clean. And then I like to walk around barefoot, so it's like glass beads all on my toes. I have to like brush out my feet if I am not careful. So that's what I'm trying to avoid by getting the glass beads as close to the limb, and I'm trying to pour them still in the same like over the same box that they came in, so it kind of eliminates some of the spillage. And that's also why I utilize this funnel system in hopes to reduce some of that spillage. Plus, you don't want to waste glass beads, they're expensive. Wasting them is not fun. So we're going to let that go into the foot and ankle area on the first leg here. You really want to make sure you work them down into there. So that's why you see me shaking them around and stuff. This is just how I like to do it because I like the feeling of the squishy hands and feet when it comes to cuddle babies, personally. It's everyone's preference though, like everyone seems to weight them differently. So just take this as like one option, one method. Regardless of which method you use though, you're going to always want to use the right type of materials, meaning nice polyfill and new glass beads. You never want to use sand. Sand has a lot of other things in it, like microbes and stuff, that can cause rotting and, well, not rotting, mold. That's what I was looking for. It like traps moisture, whereas these glass beads do not. So you want to be really careful about the things that you choose, and I'll put a link to where I get my glass beads. She's always really quick with shipping, and I've never had any issues with buying from her. And plus, it's the best price I've found for glass beads per pound when you calculate how much it costs per pound. I think it comes out to around $2 per pound-ish. Not even, because she includes shipping price, so for her it's less than $2 per pound, which again is the best price I've seen. So if you guys know anywhere else cheaper, let me know. But these beads are different because they're not as small as the ones that you get from, say, like Harbor Freight or something. Harbor Freight, of course, being Harbor Freight is a hardware store. They're not as small as those beads because those beads are actually used more for sandblasting. So they're really, really small. Like, these beads are small, but they're not as small as some of those beads that you would get from there. I don't like those type of beads because I feel like I'm inhaling them. So, got one leg here stuffed. Still has that flexibility that cuddle babies should have, because that's kind of like the draw to them. You can cuddle them and you can pose them in so many ways. So that's one leg. So I'll speed it up and I'll finish up the, not speed it up, I'll just cut to me finish the second leg, and then we'll move on to the arms. So like I said, the glass beads go up to about here, which is kind of like ankle knee area, I guess you would say. Okay, so in order to not make this video insufferably long, I actually went ahead and filled both arms off camera because it's just easier to do so, and it went quicker, obviously. So on the arms, I just filled up to like about here on both sides. Rest is polyfill, of course. And so now all the limbs are ready to be sewn up, so I'm going to do that now off camera. And then we'll come back and we'll finish filling up the body on camera. Okay, you guys, so that did take a little bit longer than I was hoping, but I do have all the seams now finished. I can't really tell, hold on. They're all finished. And luckily I had some thread that was pretty much the same color as the cloth bodies are, so that we can go ahead and now finish filling the body. And his head should be, his magnet should be set now, It's been a while. It's been long enough. I got distracted and had to do something else, clean and stuff. So yeah, let's go ahead and fill this body up. Sorry, my vacuum cleaner almost fell over. Sorry if that's what you were hearing in the background. So first things first, let's put the heavier one. Already gonna put that in the bottom here, as you can see what I'm doing right now. Working its way to the bottom. So this body also isn't like gathered, like it doesn't have a gathered bottom or the gathered chest like the ones that I prefer, but like I said, they were all out of stock when I was looking for a Cuddle body for him. That was his size. So, but I think this body will still be very nice for him to sit on. So now I'm polyfilling around, putting polyfill all around that that ball of glass beads that I just put in there. I like to separate my polyfill as I go so it doesn't all bunch up. And now we're going to put the little bit of glass beads in the top chest area and fill some polyfill around that as well. I might have to go grab some more polyfill. Or this might be good. Yeah, actually, I think that's good, you guys. Maybe fill in some of the gaps with a little tiny bit more polyfill. Actually, that's fine. There you go. Just have to separate some polyfill down in here. It's really like so individualized. Each body kind of fills differently. That's better. All right, there is his body ready, and now we're just gonna see if his magnet is set enough for us to go ahead and fill the head and put the head on. All right, be right back. This magnet is indeed set, as you can see. Magnetic pacifier, perfectly in the place where you want it to be. So he is ready to be finally assembled for good. So we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna fill his head now. So I usually have like a pillow or something down. For him, I'm just gonna use his body so that his head's not like directly on the ground. I might have to change the angle so you guys can see what I'm doing. Yeah, we're gonna have to tilt you guys down a little bit so I can actually show you guys what I'm doing. That would be nice, wouldn't it? Ooh, the tripod does not want you guys to see what I'm doing. Let me pause. So you guys should be in frame now. Sorry for these technical difficulties. I'm still learning camera setup and all that. Sorry, now I'm trying to focus. Okay. That's as focused as it's probably going to get right now because of the lighting in this one section. But right now you can see his head is sitting. And then I'm going to grab other end of the stocking, which is like the foot, where the foot goes. Cut that off, the rest of the stocking. So you can see I just have like the foot part of the stocking here. And then we're going to put that inside of his head, like this. So that now we can fill the stocking, and by doing that, we're weighting the head. It's very simple. I also use a funnel for this part, just again to eliminate some of the spillage. I like the heads to be fairly heavy, as they are in a real baby. So we're going to fill them up pretty heavy there. Put some more in there. And this is going to help him be floppy like a newborn. Okay, so I'm pretty happy with that amount of glass beads in there. So he's all filled up. And now we're gonna, very simply, we're just gonna take the lid off. We'll take it off the lip of the neck ring, whatever you want to call it. What is it called? I think neck lip or something. This part. We just took it off of that. Now we're just going to tie it like so. I double tie mine. Cut the excess off. So now that's in his head. And now, this is a mistake I think some people do, is they won't fill the head with polyfill, which you have to do. Otherwise, it's just basically a hollow head with the sack of glass beads moving around in it, and it's not proper. So I'm grabbing more polyfill. We're just gonna stuff his head, like really stuff it, but not, you don't want to stuff it so much that there's no squish to the head at all. It's very hard to explain. You want to still be able to squish the head some, because that's more realistic. But then, you know, it's all, again, your opinion. If you like yours like solid, you can do that. But I like to have a little squish to the cheeks like that. But now his head is weighted at the back, so when you pick him up, it'll fall back. This is horrible lighting for him, but you get the point. So literally now all we have to do is put on his head to his body, because everything's all filled and weighted. So we're gonna do that now. And when I cut off the zip ties, I use a pair of fingernail clippers. I get a closer cut when I do that. So now we're putting on his head, and then in a second I'll be able to dress him and get his pictures ready for him to be posted. So I'm not going to show you cutting off the zip tie, but I just wanted to show you guys me putting on his head. So like I said, now when you pick him up, his head goes back. So I'm going to zoom out a little bit so you can see. He's really cute. So there he is. See how his head goes back? Cuddle baby Dominic, all completed. Thank you guys so much for watching. Right now, currently I am working on a Levi. He was the orange baby. He is no longer orange. Let me see if I can take you over to him real quick. Yes, my paint table looks crazy right now. See, he's no longer orange, you guys. He's coming along really well. I'm really excited to see how he turns out. So I was able to save him from a life of being orange. And then this is Sadie. She is coming along as well. She's getting her mottling layers. I'm trying out some things with her. And then after those two, whenever they're finished, I will be working on a Realborn Harlow. Alright, thank you guys so much for watching. I will see you guys in the next video.